So, the theme of the talk today is your own inner engineering, and I'm sure in a technical university where you are as such doing external engineering. So I thought, give you some thoughts on how to inner engineer yourself. Are you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
How is the Josh?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. So, you must be having some aspirations, from this talk, that why this ancient man, Rajeev Mehajan, is here to talk on a platform like TEDx, actually. Am I right? But what I'm going to talk about today is life. Okay, this is what I feel that I should be talking about to you when it comes to inner engineering. I was really overwhelmed by the space show just now, where people talked about movement. And when we talk about movement, I will talk about energy movement also at a later time. When you look at this graph, what do you see? On x-axis, what do you see? Stage of life, and your y-axis? Your mathematics skill. Isn't it very interesting that as you grow from school, elementary to school to college, finally your mathematical skills, your technical skills, your competencies, knowledge, etc. takes a dip immediately after college. So imagine what is going to happen to your life. Your life is going to only get reduced to spreadsheets. Are you with me? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But there are various kind of people here. I know the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, but particularly the people who are aspiring to do something, to join an organization, to pursue their career. I'm sure they should know that what the organizations, the stakeholders are looking in you when it comes to your capabilities, assurance, some reasonable assurance to them that you are capable to deliver. The trust factor, that you can be trusted for anything and everything. Number 3, your capability and capacity alike. 4, your commitment, your sense of commitment, the sense of ownership which I generally refer to. And finally, the resilience, particularly in case of failures. Don't you think it is important? Resilience. So what happens when you have a breakup with your boyfriend or girlfriend? Whether you feel resilient? Yes or no? Or you feel victim? Your DP moves off from your WhatsApp. Am I right? Right or not? Okay. So let's see what is this resilience about. But importantly also, it is of equal importance that not only currently what you are going through in life, what you are looking at the market trends now, what happened to the last year placements, what is going to happen in next 2 to 3 years. I can tell you, if you are really a visionary, if you think like a reader, then you will look 20 years from now and try to bet that which technologies or business domains are going to be promising. I have listed few, but that list is just indicative. I have done my research, you do your homework. And also, which lines up with your own belief system, which particular sector, which we would like to go. Don't you think it is important that at this stage you make your choices? The most important aspect of this is that you get very clear in your mind that the job, the organization, the career which you are going to choose is it ensuring leadership through 360-degree outlook, whether leading above, below, at your level, role dynamics, understanding diversity, making an impact. That means organization by its design, institutional training is creating such kind of scenario for you. So don't get into the packages, 6 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 9 lakhs, 10 lakhs, and so on. Think about your next organization from 360-degree outlook. And also, whether your next organization, your next career is providing you opportunities to develop your personal virtues, that is your ability to leverage strengths, fill in weaknesses, and dealing with failures. Important or not important? So I had plenty of failures in my life, right? Compartment in 11th standard. I'm sure none of you got one. Oh, you got it. So I had compartment in 11th standard in which subject? Mathematics. The second failure. When it came to joining Indian Air Force, plenty of attempts, failed attempts. Finally, I became a commissioned officer through service selection boards, what you call as SSB, after a lot of attempts, lot of failures. And number three, I was the lowest in my score in annual confidential reports given by my bosses over a period of time. So I had almost sealed my chances of becoming even a group captain or a wing commander for sure. So let me take a pause here and ask you, what is the biggest fear? Death, failure, or being labeled? How many for death? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. How many for failure? Failure. Oh, many. Okay. And how many are being labeled? Kuch to log kahenge. How many are being labeled? Come on. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, to me, none of them is the biggest fear. The biggest fear is uncertainty. Going from stage of certainty to uncertainty. Till you embrace the uncertainty in life, you cannot even think about doing anything in life. Give you an example. If I would not have embraced the uncertainty, I would have retired as one of the commissioned officer of Indian Air Force, but not at this kind of scenario where I am being considered as World Meteorological Organization United Nations member, the scientific advisor to the government of India, etc., etc., etc. Similarly, in my professional life, wherever this water remained stagnant, I kept on moving, and that is what I say, embracing the uncertainty. Heard about these names? I'm sure, your generation. You know, I am the chairman of interview guidance boards for Indian Civil Services, besides being the panel at UPSC. And during last 12 years of my experience, what I see in your generation is fantastic. They have a huge sense of integrity. They are multitasking people. But when it comes to FOMO, FOLB, my God, there's so much of fear. You yourself raise hands, what are you fearful about? But the requirement is to live in the moment. And importantly, you have really transformed the original theory of Maslow, the theory of needs, which starts from physiological needs of breathing, food, sex, etc., going up to self-actualization where morality, creativity, etc. comes. You have transferred really very well into Maslow theory 2, where your digital needs are so important that physiological needs, starts from your great Wi-Fi, laptop, iPhone, etc., etc., going up to self-actualization needs of 1 million followers at LinkedIn and so on. Am I right? Am I trying to tell you, like your parents or teachers, that why are you on social media always, on your Instagram? No, big no. Not at all. But what I am trying to tell you, have you thought over it? That this whole thing, Maslow theory 2, hope it is not consuming your self-worth itself. Why do you need external validation from others, whether you look nice or not? Am I right? Yes or no? So don't be online attractive. Be spiritually attractive inside. That is what is inner engineering about. So you need to, I gave you some mantra, you need to develop 3 hobbies. One need to keep you creative, very important. 2, one to keep you in shape. I still spend about 2.5 hours every day on myself when it comes to physicality, and it includes hot yoga, it includes running, it includes cycling. My friend didn't introduce me to myself at the age of 61 as a marathoner, professional cyclist, and so on. And lastly, You need to have a hobby to make money. Rather choose your professions which are aligned with your hobbies. Important? Think about it. But physicality is not about just being physical. It's about something else. This expedition just took when I was 8 years old man, 3 years ago, where 9 leaders from the industry were chosen by an organization known as Control S. 7 leaders were chosen by Control S, which is the largest data center in the Asia. And what they were supposed to do, ride 700 kilometers in Himalayas. I was the eldest one, least professionally qualified. I had only done till that time about 100 kilometers of cycling at a stretch. Look at yourself what happened actually. The last part of my talk is about my mentorship which I provide at Sankalp, an organization, which I told almost 1,500 mentees I have already mentored who are already IAS, IPS and all that. You know what? Generally my colleagues ask me a question where it is very difficult to nurture the personality at this stage in life. Whatever you have become, you will remain so throughout your life. And generally, on those occasions, I smile. And when I smile, I give them a story. Let me share you with that story. So I talked about a boy who was living in this labor colony and who used to live in this 10 by 12 feet cubicle. 10 by 12 feet cubicle with no kind of, basic facilities of a house actually. The boy took his first job after 10th board examination where he worked as a laborer in a crayon factory known as Camel. And the journey continued where he used to paddle almost 15 kilometers every day to provide 3 tuitions, to come back at 2 to 3:0 in the night, have his grub, settle down for studies and then once again get up in the morning for his health run and going to college at 7. When I talk about this boy, the question is about for this boy was about survival, not to excel, because there was not even enough food at home at times. Being the laborer's son. Why? Because textile industry during that time was going through a shit. There was no salary for 11 to 12 months at times. When I talk about this boy, he might have been struggling throughout his life, but finally he became a success. They just put their head down, and very rarely I tell them about the name of this boy. Would you like to know about the name of this boy? Yes. The boy is Dr. Rajeev Mehajan in front of me. So, my aim was not to blow my trumpet, but to tell you, you are, I call it triple A theory of mind. You are under no obligation to be the same person you were a year, month, or even 15 minutes ago while you entered into this auditorium and started listening to my class lecture. You have the right to grow. And how can you grow? Through only 3 soft skills: integrity, empathy, and excellence. Integrity is not honesty. Sochni, kathni, and karni, that means your thinking, your expression, and your action need to talk to each other in unison. If you are able to do that, you are able to develop empathy. If you are able to develop empathy, excellence is the next. Lastly, let me ask you a question. Rather, you ask this question yourself after going through this session. Are you in balance of life at this stage? That means you should ask whether you are a conscious person or a cautious person. If you are a cautious person, there is a problem. You need to be just conscious and alive. Number 2, your relationship status. Whether you generally fail in your relationships, at home, in office, school, college, etc. Think over it. Number 3, do you take self-care of yourself the way I am taking? Right? Number 4, resilience to failures. Very important. Do you feel like a victim when there is a failure? Even losing a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Do you feel like a victim? If you feel like a victim, there is a problem. Number 5, are you I know type or I don't know type? If you feel that you are I don't know type, I salute you. But if you feel that you are I know, come on, I know, then there is no possibility to know further in life. Be humble, be grounded. I am still learning. Finally, your time on earth is limited. Don't try to age with grace what your teacher tells you or your parents tells you. Do some tricks. Do some naughtiness. Have some audacity. And like being sometime a good story to tell. Thank you so much.